Act 2 of Cinderella by George Calderon. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Cinderella, Act 2, Scene 1. At the gasworks, the scene is only a few feet deep. Behind the back cloth there is a great din of hammering and occasionally a blow on the cloth itself. Stockfish alone. At home, he is an ordinary, peevish, nervous householder.
Oh dear! I wish I had never undertaken to give a party. If I had known all the preparations that it would involve. This fearful noise going on all day, nowhere to sit down or anything, and as soon as I get a little privacy, someone is sure to come intruding.
Enter Tessman, disguised as a waiter, with a false nose and a long beard. Another waiter with him, small and Jewish. Both wear big white cotton gloves.
Now, what do you want? Who on earth are you?
Tessman and waiter, stepping absurdly together and keeping exact time in their words and gestures.
We are the first and second hired waiters.
Ah, the men from Gunter's. Now, you know I'm expecting a small party here tonight. Oh dear, what is all that noise behind?
It is the stage carpenters preparing the big scene, the big set scene.
I do wish they could be a little quieter about it. Well, as I say, I am expecting a small party.
He is interrupted by a blow on the back cloth near his head.
There, that one nearly got me. Relling and Morvik will be here, Nigel Playfair, little Asliskin, and the old crew, some chamberlains, a thin-haired gentleman, a flabby gentleman, a short-sighted gentleman, courtiers, peasants, soldiers, servants, etc. Oh, for heaven's sake, go and tell those people behind to be a little bit quieter. The audience won't hear a thing I have to say.
Master, we hearken and obey. Salam.
Exeunt, Tessman and waiter. Stockfish endeavors to make a speech to the audience, but is drowned out by the noise. Enter Mrs. Inquest and Hedda.
Hello? What's this?
You didn't say anything about clothes, so we thought it best to come in fancy dress.
I have come in classical costume. I am Aspasia.
My costume is symbolical. I am joy.
They all sit and yawn.
How shall we amuse ourselves?
Let us look at albums of photographs of cathedrals and places of interest that we have never visited.
You promised to play paper games.
Paper games?
Long, dreary paper games.
Let us play at words. We will take some long word.
Some long, dreary word.
Aleximorkigati chronologialness.
Aleximorkigati chronologialness.
And what do we do then?
We make little words out of it.
Words of not less than 8 letters.
Beginning in X.
How long shall we have?
40 minutes.
They sit with pencils and paper. After a moment, Mrs. Inquest produces a big flute and plays the Dead March in Saul.
Ugh. 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 We are having an excessively jolly evening.
It might best be described as an orgy.
How many words have you?
None.
None.
I also have none.
With my flute in my hand and you two at my side, I can be happy.
Let us play at telegrams.
Let us play at prehistoric animals in M.
I do not care what game we play. All are equally dreary. Let us penetrate the blackest depths of gloom.
Hilda is heard singing without.
I am free, I am free, I am free.
What is that?
It is seldom that anyone sings near Ozma's home.
Or near the gasworks.
Even the birds only make a sort of croaking noise.
Enter Hilda in galoshes.
I am free, I am free, I am free. No more life in the prison for me. I am free as a flea. I am free, I am free, I am free.
Looking at her through long-handled eyeglasses.
Who can this be?
We haven't a notion who this can be.
What an enchanting creature.
A little bourgeois.
No style.
Rather rococo.
My, what a picnic. Are you playing with the waxworks? Chamber of Horrors, sixpence extra.
What astonishing persiflage.
What a pert little minx.
Bad form, I call it, to be so familiar.
Are you alive?
Yes, we are living, deep down.
We are going it inside.
Do you call this living? Pah! You don't know what life is. Life is to leap and dance in the woods, to catch skylarks with the hands, to chase the roebuck and leap down the rocks.
You can't do that at the gasworks.
We shall have to play that game some other day.
Aha! So that's the sort you are, one of the alive lot. We'll go hunting, you and I, right up there in the mountains, in the mists and clouds, near the bathing establishment. You're a huntress, aren't you?
Yes, a huntress of men.
A pretty wit, i'faith. I'll show you my dogs. You shall see them gulp down great bones, huge beef bones covered with flesh and gore.
Ah, give me gore. That's life.
Come, let's all be jolly. Let's climb down off our perch a bit. We're too intense. It's all very well for the children, but we must think of the old folk too. Remember that this is a pantomime.
All right, what shall we do?
Let's have a song and dance.
Right you are.
I'm game.
To testman and waiter.
Just keep things going till we're ready.
Shall we do a short turn, governor?
Yes.
Exeunt Stockfish and Hilda.
Now mind, whatever you do, let your entertainment be refined.
Madam, of course.
Something that the children can thoroughly understand. Something really Drury Laneian. I should suggest, for instance, that you both pretend you're brokers' men, and one of you is drunk and toasts a herring over a candle. You see, something amusing but refined.
Exit Mrs. Inquest. To Hedda.
Shh, not a word. You know me?
You are Bernard Shaw.
No, I'm your affianced bride. I'm Tessman of the d'Urbervilles.
Introducing the waiter.
This is Jude the Obscure. One must earn one's living somehow.
Exit Hedda.
Something amusing but refined. I know, we'll do the ticket business.
Enter Aunt Judy and Mopsy Man.
Now then, what do you want here?
Oh, please, Mr. Gentleman, we want to go to the party.
Very well, then. Where's your ticket?
We haven't got no ticket.
You can't come in without a ticket. The governor said he'd saw my leg off if I let anybody in without a ticket.
We must disguise ourselves.
What as?
I know. Ibsen characters.
They disguise themselves, Mopsy Man in bathing drawers, and Judy as a bathing woman.
Please, Mr. Gentleman, this is little Eyolf, and I am the lady from the sea. I'm just going to give him a dip.
Very well, where's your tickets then?
Tesman and waiter turn them out. They re-enter newly disguised.
Who are you?
We are pillars of society.
Where's your ticket then?
They turn them out. They re-enter in sheets.
We are ghosts. Ah!
They pass and turn.
Don't be so frightened. We're not real ghosts.
Not real ghosts? What are you then?
We're the pretenders.
Aunt Judy and Mopsyman throw their sheets over the others and run away.
Where's your ticket? Where's your ticket?
Scene 2. A deeper scene with palace staircase and crowd of guests painted at the back. The middle of this painting is a practicable double door, but the doors are not painted as doors. Parts of the staircase and crowd swing back when they are opened. Stockfish shakes hands and converses with the painted guests, and the waiters offer them refreshments. Stockfish, Mrs. Inquest, Hedda, and Hilda discovered.
Well, here we all are, then.
And what is this?
Referring to a catalogue.
This is the Pageant of Empire, Gallery number 17, Meeting of Colonial Premiers.
Not bad for gasworks, eh? This is the boardroom, the room where the directors come when they're bored.
Come, let us be sportive and merry. Let us have a song and dance.
How are you? Are you feeling pretty fit?
Fit, yes, fit for anything. I am fit to be made a peer.
The bandmaster taps his desk. Mrs. Inquest clears her throat. To Hilda.
You hear? Tap, tap, tap. She's going to sing. I knew how it would be if we took her out to a party. The coffee goes to her head at once.
Oh, poor old Mr. Hasquith is very hard worked, I fear. He's trying to find 500 men that's fit to be made a peer. Well, he wouldn't look long if he heard this song for someone to make a knob. There's me and there's him and there's Bill and there's Jim. He's ready to take the job.
He's trying to find 500 men that's fit to be made a peer. What, oh, you know that's fit to be made a peer. Uppity, 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 up, when I am made a peer.
The day this girl is made a hurl, oh my, won't I feel queer. I'll walk in the row with my elbows so when I am made a peer. You won't catch me at the ABC nor Lockhart's, then no fear. I'll do myself well at the Carlton Hotel when I am made a peer.
He's trying to find 500 men that's fit to be made a peer. What, oh, you know that's fit to be made a peer. Uppity, 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 up, when I am made a peer.
I won't eat no more sausages nor drink no ginger beer. I'll wet my gum with the finest mum when I am made a peer. He must mend his ways in the coming days, must Mr. Lloyd George, that's clear. I'll not let him rob the riches of the knob when I am made a peer.
He's trying to find 500 men that's fit to be made a peer. What, oh, you know that's fit to be made a peer. Uppity, 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 up, when I am made a peer.
Having finished the song, Mrs. Inquest takes the stage.
Talking of the House of Lords always reminds me of that dear old ditty, The Corpse.
The bandmaster taps his desk.
Heavens! She's going to sing again.
It was a corpse lay on a bier beneath the silvery moon.
There, that's enough. You've had your song. You must make way for someone else now.
What? So I have got to make room now? To make room for the new generation? For little chits of girls? No, I will never make room. I will never retire. I will go on singing for ever and ever.
They hustle her.
It was a corpse lay on a bier.
She is bundled out. The music plays a dance.
What is this?
This is our principal ballet. It is a grand pageant of all nations. The dresses alone cost £50,000. Hush, they come.
Ballet of 4 hired waiters. Tessman dances à la Russe and says,
Gop, gop, du Schenkelmeier!
The Jew wears 3 hats. An Italian waiter says,
Caramba!
A German waiter, carrying 3 glass mugs in either hand, exclaims,
Potztausend Donnerwetter!
To Tessman,
Come hither, Dandini. I would quaff a goblet of brown October.
Tessman serves him.
Thank you.
Do not thank me. It is my simple duty. I'm paid to do it.
Leaning his elbow on Tessman's shoulder and looking at Hilda.
Tell me, Dandini, who is yon Virgil of peerless beauty?
I know not, your majesty, but fain would I right gladly meet with her anon in the twilight.
The bandmaster taps.
Nay, not that, for heaven's sake, ring off! Oh, spare me, spare me!
Do not kneel to me, old man. Do you not know me? I am Tesman, your long-lost son.
He takes off his beard and nose.
You! What, have you turned up again?
And this is Hedda, my little Hedda. We are engaged.
You engaged? You don't mean to say that you ever had the courage to propose to her?
Yes, last Tuesday I took the Hedda. There were many that sought her hand. I was jealous. I said, Hedda, I wish to be the only cock on your foul roost.
And what did she say?
She said, buck, 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 buck.
Bless you, my children. Beshrew him. Ever this varlet foils my plans. I must be revenged. Come, let us amuse ourselves, as we did of yore in the old Stockholm days, with a little knockabout business, you remember?
Only too well.
They put on small straw hats and do a knockabout business in which Stockfish is beaten worse.
And now I will keep the promise that I made you. I will show you the great secret, the mystery of the box room.
Ah, yes, the thing that isn't a person.
I must put on my uniform first. I like to do everything in style.
Exit.
What is the mystery of the box room?
Oh, it's a symbol. Like that.
Enter Stockfish suddenly in a cocked hat, standing in a Napoleon attitude.
I am the rightful heir to the throne of France. I am Napoleon returned to his own. The island of Elba was too small for me. I add no Elba room.
He was in the volunteers, you know.
And now for the secret. The great secret. Shh.
He goes out on tiptoe and opens the folding doors at the back.
Shh. Is she awake?
I can't quite tell yet. She's in her hutch. I told you you should see her, and so you shall.
Exit into box room.
What has he got in there?
Poor old man, you must humour him. It's an idea of his. It's all the pleasure that he has now. Since he gave up taking real outdoor exercise, he goes in for big game shooting in the box room.
What does he shoot?
That's the secret. It's a guinea pig.
A guinea pig?
A real wild guinea pig.
But why a guinea pig?
Oh, he was swindled out of some money once by a company director. He creeps around among the boxes and trunks. He pretends they're trunks of trees and shoots at it with a pop gun.
Enter Stockfish, alarmed.
I say, there's something rather queer about that guinea pig today.
His pop gun goes off and frightens him.
She looks so fierce. She seems so much bigger than usual and uncommonly lively.
A gong. Mopsy Man jumps in from the box room and Aunt Judy behind, laughing.
Here we are again. Did little Mopsy Man give you a bit of a turn, Herr Militar? Aha! The forest avenges itself with a vengeance. We always like coming in these funny ways, if we can.
Who is this?
This is Aunt Judy. She's not respectable. She's been in jail, you know.
In jail? Well, well, that's a bond of union. So have I.
Enter Mrs. Inquest and Madame Helseth.
Why, here's Madame Helseth, too. How very mixed Norwegian society is becoming.
Song and dance. Mrs. Inquest, Aunt Judy, Hedda, and Madame Helseth.
We're Gibson, Gibson, rickety-rackety gals, true blood, blue blood, Scandinavian swells. We're girls, dear girls, take us all in the lump. We're rather rough and we're up to snuff and we're all of us off our chum. Yes, all of us, all of us, all of us, all of us, all of us off our chum.
Exit Hilda.
Come, Aunt Judy, let's have a drink together. It's a long time since we met.
No, thank you. Nothing for me. I've signed the pledge.
What again?
What does it matter? Pledges are so irrelevant. Come, a little cold punch.
Better not press her, my dear.
Do have a glass.
No, thank you.
Aha! You dare not. You preach freedom to others, but you dare not be free yourself. Didn't you see the way they smiled when you said no? Come, be secure, be confident of yourself.
Drinking 5 or 6 glasses.
Well, here goes then.
Did you see that? She wolfed the lot, my dear. Wolfed the bally show.
Enter Demon and Fairy, meeting.
Oh, there's someone I know at last.
Oh, howdy do, howdy do. Don't you know many people here?
Not a soul.
'Pon my word, queer set of folk they've got together. Wonder where they rake 'em up.
I feel rather out of it.
May I have the pleasure of taking you in to supper?
Exeunt arm in arm. All have gone but Stockfish. Enter Hilda in cloak and galoshes.
At last, I find you alone.
You're not going?
Alas, poor man, it were better for you that I should. I must be back by 12.
But it's only 8. You've got 4 hours?
All too little for what I have to say. This is a moment that I have waited for years.
Who are you, mysterious stranger?
I am a woman who has found herself at last. I am the apostle of freedom. Freedom for everyone to be themselves. No social conventions, no duties, nothing but to do and to be. You are still a slave, I see, a slave of little things. You love your furniture, your glasses. I will free you from them.
She goes round with a hammer, breaking everything.
There! That's the sort of hairpin I am. 9 o'clock. Goodness, how time flies when you're enjoying yourself. Do you feel it beginning?
Feel what?
Love.
No, I feel only dread.
That's right. That's how it should be. I want you to loathe me and to dread me. That is what binds people together. For you are mine, mine, mine.
Embracing him.
Unhand me, wench! You are strangling me!
Will you return my passion?
I will do anything if you will only let me go.
Do you loathe and love me?
I will care for you with all the tenderness of a middle-aged man.
I want no tenderness. I want no quiet. I want to be loved as your dogs love those great bloody bones they swallow whole. Oh, how lovely that must be.
What, would you like to swallow Big Bones whole?
No, but to be swallowed whole. 10 o'clock. I must hasten. I must get to the point. Listen to me, Stockfish. When first I saw the gasworks, I knew that it was all over with me. It was so tremendously thrilling. I couldn't believe there was anybody in the world could have built such great, enormous gasworks. Ever since I was born, I love you, love you, love you.
But we have never met before.
Yes, don't you remember? Long, long ago. That was up at the bathing establishment. Do you not remember? It lives in my memory as if it were but yesterday. I was only 3 weeks old then. You picked me out of my cradle and kissed me passionately.
It isn't true. I always detested babies.
It is true. You kissed me here.
Did I?
Since that moment, our seals are sold for one another.
I have no recollection.
But that isn't what mattered. That wasn't the important thing. The thing that mattered was what came after.
I know that phrase. It is always what came after that matters.
You took the coral necklace off my neck and hid it in your pocket.
Fancy!
And I said to myself, for I couldn't talk out loud then, I said, that is the man for me. A real man, a man who is master of his own soul and not bound down by little petty conventions and rules of etiquette.
I don't remember a word of all this.
Aside.
Nor do I. 11 o'clock. My time is nearly out.
Come, tell me who you are.
No, that you must never learn, nor now, nor nevermore. That must always remain a secret between us, a beautiful secret, symbolical of the relation between the two sexes.
Tell me your address.
Never.
Tell me at least your telephone number.
No, no.
I am bewildered. I do not know what I ought to do.
Do you not know? Listen, we two are the only waking creatures here. Do you not understand me?
No, I do not understand you.
Getting on the table.
The champagne is on the table.
I do not see any champagne.
There stood the champagne, but he tasted it not.
Ah, now at last, I understand.
He runs after her. 12 strikes.
Stop! Stop! There's 12 striking.
Come here, you little witch.
I've got to get back.
One kiss. One kiss.
She boxes his ears and runs away. He follows her out and returns with a galosh.
She's gone. She's gone. But in her flight she dropped this precious relic.
Kissing it.
Oh, yum, 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 yum.
Enter Tessman. Stockfish hides the galosh.
See, father, 3 chamberlains are playing blind man's buff with Madam Helseth.
What do I care? Tush! I would be alone.
Enter Madame Helseth and 3 chamberlains.
Ah, it isn't always the oldest wine that is the best.
She's coming out at our expense.
Oh, fie! Oh, fie! What raillery!
Enter Mrs. Inquest and Hedda and Aunt Judy.
I am bored to death with insipid conversation and heartless amusement. I am stifled with the taint of marsh vapours. Oh, if only I could find the address of the Alcohol Refraining Society, I would send in my resignation.
You're not going?
I am homesick for the mighty nothingness. Farewell, old horse. Good night, respected sir.
I'll see you out.
No, thank you. I'll go my own road.
Exit Aunt Judy through the ceiling.
Please excuse her. She's always been a little eccentric.
And now it's time that you all went. I want to be alone.
He kisses the galosh.
Well, after a broad hint like that.
We'd better say good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. May you have no dreams. Let us pray that we may none of us have any dreams.
Tessman, Mrs. Inquest, and the waiter stand as a comic American unaccompanied trio. Tessman in a little straw hat, waiter in a Newgate fringe.
Oh, put my nightie by the fire and make my gruel hot, and go and get the warming pan to warm my little cot. My little cot to warm, my little cot.
Come, that's enough. Why don't you go?
Enter Fairy. She chips forward and takes the stage.
And now that all the rest have had their say, come, Fairy Bright Eyes, whom mortals all obey. Behold the triumph of my...
Oh, you won't go, won't you? Well then, I'll turn off the gas.
Darkness, screaming, laughter, and pistol shots. Curtain.